Workwise Business Insights YouTube channel and our episode today. Um, I'm Michelle Smith from Clarity and Beyond, and my co-host here is Rosaline Kunrunmi from the HR department.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So today we're, I don't know how many days to Christmas, probably about 37 days, probably a little bit more than that, there or thereabouts.
Mhm.
So we're getting towards the season of goodwill, and we've been chatting just before we came to record the episode about some of the pressures related to the Christmas period, both for employees and for business owners.
Yeah.
Rosaline, what are your thoughts about this time of the year and some of the things that are ahead of us over the weeks ahead?
Well, I think self-care, 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 self-care. Self-care is should be a priority. So I'll just say Christmas is coming, the season of goodwill, like Michelle said, off the record before we started this recording, season of goodwill. I think it's a time for us to keep calm. It is a time to, keep calm and enjoy the reason for the season, and practice self-care as a priority. Practice self-kindness because it helps to reduce stress, it helps to improve our health and boost happiness, especially on the Christmas day itself. Because all the stress that a lot of people have started shopping and all of that, thinking, am I gonna be able to afford that? Am I gonna leave somebody out? Then you think about your family, then you start thinking about work. Then we have kids as well that they might want to do, Secret Santa at school. We ourselves working do Secret Santa, within our business network, or if you're in corporate work as well, you might want to do that. But the thing is, whatever you do, think about self-care as priority and practice it.
Yeah, I mean, although it's the season of goodwill, it's an opportunity maybe for a rest. You're right. There is so much other stuff going on, um, and the weight of expectation sometimes can be heavy. I think
Mm,
there's expectations from family, from friends, from associates, from you name it. There is a lot of expectation, um, and I think self care, yes, should absolutely be the number one priority, shouldn't it? You know, if we're looking forward
yeah.
to the possibility of a break and taking
Hmm.
time in reflection and celebrating the season and everything that it stands for, and why we have Christmas to begin with,
Hmm.
um, we should be seeing it as that opportunity for just being kind to ourselves as well as being kind
Hmm.
to each other, which I know is sometimes easier said than done.
I know, I know. And especially in this age of we have technology, our phone, a lot of us, our phone is our diary, you know, we diary everything. So I was going to say in terms of schedule relaxation and alone time, because as we know, Christmas can be very, very busy and hectic time, for us. So if it's possible to spend time away from our phone, but I know it will be very, very difficult because like you said, Michelle, it's easier said than done because a lot of us, our phone is our diary. And especially when we go shopping, you don't want to take physical diary. You've got your phone, your to-do list on it. Start taking it out. Just think about schedule relaxation and alone time. Treat yourself to a nice, I don't know, bath or winter walk. I know it's very cold to kind of reflect, reflection early in the morning in terms of all of that. And it helps it be to kind of put your head together, shell around budgets, because it's very easy to get carried away. Your shopping list, your schedule, everything you need is on your phone. And then you start buying and buying without checking in. So that
Yeah,
checking is very important around budgets. So we
yeah,
know after Christmas, January is a very, very long weeks. Of course, 6 weeks or so, or 5 weeks plus. Especially people that are actually on salary, even business owners as well,
yeah.
before you then think about getting paid as well. So please, yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's such an easy thing to do, isn't it? Get carried away with
Mm,
and because of course we're so far removed from physical money nowadays. Everything is done with a
phone,
scan of a phone or a
yeah.
card, or and I
Apple
think it's
Pay,
easy. Yeah, and it's
wallet.
easy to forget that actually there's a financial value associated with that little beep as you pay for something.
Yeah.
Which again, it just goes to show how reliant we are on these things,
Hmm.
and how I think you're you're so right with what you say about taking that time to sort of have a separation from it and a bit of detox.
Mm,
And I was chatting to a group of people today about WhatsApp groups as an example, and that as you were talking, I'm thinking WhatsApp groups, the bane of my life. I find them really overwhelming. And actually, when you're thinking about Christmas time, you're not just thinking about your business WhatsApp groups and your network WhatsApp groups, but probably family WhatsApp
how
groups as
many?
well,
Personal.
because everybody wants a piece of you, everybody wants something, and it can feel a bit. "Ah." Um, so I've decided actually that next week the focus of my quick win newsletter is going to be on how you can use WhatsApp
Oh, that's
more
good.
efficiently to
Mm,
reduce the amount of stress involved.
yeah,
And so I think you've made a really good point there. A little bit of a separation from it all is a great
yeah.
self care
I
tip.
mean, how many WhatsApp groups do you belong to? I've got
Oh
uncountable.
gosh, too
I've got
many.
and too many, and I've tried to kind of minimize the noise sometimes,
Yeah.
just to get by. And I think in times of you said something earlier, which is very important that everybody, as a mother, as employer,
Mm,
as wife, friends, everybody wants a piece of you. And I think this is where you get everyone involved, people in your
mm.
life. I'm talking about delegation, delegates, you
Yeah,
know, get
yeah,
everybody to join into the festive period, and provide them with their own Christmas jobs. So get your kids to write your Christmas cards for you, get somebody to wrap Christmas present, you know, delegate, share the cooking Christmas dinner if possible. Because otherwise, if you're not careful, you can add more stress to your ongoing stress.
mm,
After all, Christmas is meant to be enjoyable. So you don't want on the Christmas day, then you're rather stressed because of the prior engagement that had actually gone on before Christmas. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, how do you make sure that you take a break over the Christmas period, Rosalind?
For me personally, I'm very proactive, so I don't leave things too late. I don't do last minute. I don't do last minute. People that actually they know me well. I love to plan well and then send a reminder out. Like we have a timeline. This timeline,
Mm,
if I don't hear from you, I'll do, a chaser email or
mm,
WhatsApp if it's family, or
mm,
just to remind you so that we can get everything done. I believe in what is worth doing at all is worth doing well, because if you then leave everything to the last minute, you rush it,
mm,
it's not going to be done well. You end up stressing.
mm.
You're
Yeah,
stressed,
that's
even
right.
if you're cooking, the cook doesn't taste nice, and on the day everybody's stressed.
Yeah,
You've given everything. You don't enjoy yourself. People don't enjoy being around you because you are stressed. And then defeat the purpose of that family gathering, defeat the purpose of Christmas itself.
yeah.
So I think for me, is start early as possible.
Mm,
I looked at, okay, how many people do I want to exchange Christmas gifts with? I then
mm,
make decision, is it going to be in form of physical cash or in form of gift? So depending, and youth of nowadays, they prefer money anyway. So
mm,
I think that is very easy. I then looked at that as well in terms of that. Then divide all of that. And I think if I'm going to give people cash, it actually helps me because that is easy peasy. You just to get somebody to write my children to write the card for me, or I write the card myself and then put money in. If it's gonna be Christmas present, I started shopping anyway. So I was out yesterday. I bought a
Mm,
few things. The intention wasn't to. I went somewhere, then I just then saw that, and I then started. I
mm,
bought a few things, but because I've already got few things from last year's sales
mm.
or this year's sales, so I've got all of that. So, and I
That
checked
is
that anyway
organised.
early this month, so that I don't get stressed
Mm,
because Christmas is by the time I love to go to Christmas Carol,
mm,
midnight mass on the
mm.
24th. I love to go on that. I love to go to church on that Christmas day itself. Then coming back to come and cook as well. So I kind of do all the prep to
Yeah.
make things easier as well. And one of the things that I do take a nap on Christmas Day. My children, my family
Okay.
will tell you, I love my nap here, my afternoon siesta. I do
Ooh.
that because everything is been. I love that. For some reason, I love that because my mind is at rest. I've done the midnight mass, 24 Christmas Carol because I love Christmas Carol. I do all of that, then come back. And by the time I eat my lunch or dinner is already late because I've already had full English breakfast. So then having my nap.
Oh,
So so I love my nap. So then yeah. And then prep and then decide in terms of New Year, what's coming for New Year. I try not to stress myself to be honest with you. And the last week in December I use
mm.
as a reflection in terms
Okay.
of the year past. And it's easier for me because every month, every end of the month is in my calendar. I do a reflection. Every week I do a reflection of the week. So I summarize that. Every month I do a reflection. Then by the last week of December, I put everything in terms of my notes, January, November notes, I kind of do a reflection. What
Yeah.
has gone well? What improvement do I need to do? Work, family, myself. What did I do? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Did I practice any self-care? How can I improve? Then I then look at the business plan as well. So yeah,
Gosh, I love that. The fact that
yeah,
you look at your business plan
yeah.
every month. You know that's textbook the way to do things, isn't it? Because actually you're going, okay, this is where I thought I was going to go.
Yeah,
Did I get there? Did I not? What do I need to change as we move tick over into
take over. Yeah,
another another month? Which
another month.
I think quite often, as happens when we're talking, something will come up like that, and one of us will say, "Ah, now that would make an excellent
Excellent.
episode." And actually, in January, that would be a wonderful thing to look at because that's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about
yeah.
evaluation, reflection, planning, and
Planning.
how you can do that really well. And by the
Yeah,
sounds of things, you've got a great process that you use.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe I'm putting you on the spot now, but maybe sharing
Ah,
your
we shall
process in
see.
January would be fabulous.
Watch this space, viewers. It might be Michelle because offline we were talking about our day yesterday. In times of you realize, oh, what did I do? We didn't do anything, but so much to do anyway. Watch
Yeah,
this space anyway. We shall see what happens. But it's a good time to December is a good time to reflect.
I
Honestly,
agree.
let's see, yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens in terms of what did I do wrong? Where area, so evaluation in general anyway, area for improvement or areas for improvement and all
Mm,
of that. So even for staff as well, for employer as well,
yeah,
if you're not getting on with a particular staff, do your self-reflection. Could it be
yeah.
you? Could it be them? Am I the right fit for them? Are they the right fit for my organization? Those kind of things. It's a time to reflect. So yeah,
Yeah, no, and
yeah.
reflection is a really important part of goal setting because if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do it, then you can't make the changes that you need to get to where you want
Yeah,
to be, can you?
yeah.
We were talking earlier as well about that weight of expectation that
Yes.
often comes with Christmas, and it could be. I mean, a couple of the things that we talked about, Christmas parties. You know, if you're running
Mm-hmm.
a Christmas party for your staff or you're being invited to Christmas parties by suppliers or networking groups or whatever, you know, sometimes it can feel a little bit like, when I did it yesterday, I looked in my calendar
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, December hopefully will be a quieter month. And
Mm-hmm.
then I found myself saying yes to lots of things. And
Mm-hmm.
you then add in the social aspect of a lot of the things
Mm-hmm.
that I've said yes to, and suddenly the diary looks completely overwhelming. And what's meant to feel like a nice, enjoyable time of the year can very easily become something that's just a little bit, oh goodness, I don't,
Overwhelming.
how am I going to fit it all in?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on that? You know, particularly when it comes to either having staff parties or you know, inviting your clients out or whatever, and that feeling of expectation. I
Yeah.
feel like I should go. I feel like I am obliged to, or
Mm. Yeah. I think for me, thank you, Michelle. I think for me, it's all about, I think we talked about budgeting as well. It's all about budgeting and
yeah,
Christmas planning. In as much as you want to make time to hang out with friends and business associates, your suppliers, we should try not to get too caught up in the pressure to make this Christmas, all about material things.
yeah,
Because, there's no harm in going out. I think where the problem is where, you know, even if it's a couple of, I don't know, a small restaurants or just even a drink or something. I'm just saying, look at the budget because it doesn't have to be a big thing, and then make use of that time together.
yeah,
In terms of, how was the business this year? What are the things? What are the measures that you put in place? Learn from each other. Get something out of it, and then turn that into your own opportunity for 2025 as part of your business plan. So as long as you can utilize that and then look at the budget as well, because we all don't have one business associate. We have so many business
yeah,
associates that actually different people. Let's go out, let's go out. I think it's about knowing who to say yes and who to say no to. Or even if you want to say yes to everybody, think about where. If where they are proposing you think is out of range for you, because your business might be doing better than mine anyway. So if I'm a startup, just think about that. So those are the things. And then I think holding each other accountable as well. Because I believe my business associates, I will have picked them well anyway in times of they carefully picked them in
yeah,
times of okay, maybe we are both startups. So I think we should be thinking or thinking from the same book around where we should go, not to go and spend unnecessarily on something. And I'll then make sure, I make that day count, a positive one that can go back home and then reflect on, oh, actually, I've had an evening with Michelle. These are the things that Michelle said. These are the things that I say. Where can I learn from Michelle? Where can Michelle learn from me? Those are the things. Just make it count. So without being feeling pressured. And then again, thinking about if you have staff as well, um, Christmas, Secret Santa, if you're the type that practice Christmas Santa, just be inclusive in terms of not everybody might want to do that because people might be going through financial difficulties, but because they want to be part or a sense of belonging, they might feel like pressurized in taking part. If you want to do Christmas Santa or Secret Santa, try to set a minimum budget, maybe between £2 and £5, nothing more. I think this will give opportunity for everybody, even people that don't want to take part as well, to just actually, I should be able to afford £2. But if somebody says I don't want to take part, please don't pressurize them.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, could be many reasons, couldn't there, as to why somebody
Mm,
doesn't want to take part or doesn't want to go to a Christmas party or out for Christmas drinks, or, it could be religious reasons, it could be financial reasons, like you've already
mm-hmm,
mentioned, it could be that they just don't feel comfortable for whatever reason. So,
mm-hmm,
and that's okay. That should always be seen as okay, and I think that
mm-hmm,
that's true as business associates, as employees, you know, it doesn't, it's not a personal thing. It shouldn't be seen as a slight in any way. We should be able to
Of course.
respect people for the decisions that they want to make, and
Mm,
yeah, it's
yeah.
fine.
And I suppose as well, if you're thinking about inclusivity as well, you know, it is important to make sure that people have, you include everybody, of course,
Yeah.
but it's how you then promote that inclusivity around Christmas, you know, um, you know, freedom of choice, like you said, if people are not Christians or they don't practice
Mm.
Christmas, it might be uncomfortable for that employee to feel forced, into someone else's celebration, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So, all I'm just saying is if you are planning on Secret Santa, that kind of stuff,
Mm.
you know, um, make participation voluntary. That's all I'm just going to say,
Yeah.
or think about providing alternative for anyone who doesn't wish to participate, so
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and as I say, just respecting the decisions and
Hmm.
not making it feel, not adding to that weight of expectation, because
Hmm.
there's enough of that already, with everything else, that
Hmm.
with consumerism and family dynamics. Um, there's lots going on, isn't there,
Yeah.
over the Christmas period? Loneliness.
Hmm.
We spoke to Jazz and Lucy from Woolwich Service Users Project, didn't we, last
Last week.
week? And we talked
Yeah.
about how they often have people through their doors who just need to talk
Hmm. Yeah.
because
It's not
they
just
maybe
about
don't have
food. Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you employ people, you might well have somebody who falls into that category that maybe doesn't have anybody at home, and for the period of Christmas, that can be quite difficult.
Hmm. It can be. And that's why we need to think about, because all these things we've discussed now, we've discussed about giving people choice, be inclusive if people don't want to participate, um, for whatever reasons,
Mm,
because all these things adds up is part of the well-being, isn't it?
yeah,
Especially now that, winter time, we've got shorter days and all of that. The clock went back, was the last month as well.
yeah,
People are really finding it difficult to cope.
yeah.
Especially people working from home by 3 p.m. You have to put your light on. Look at the time now. My light
I
is
know,
already on. Then
I know.
thinking about incurring all of those bills, then thinking about all of that. So, and this is year in, year out. This is what we go through. So
Yeah,
just think about, um understand what people are coming from, your staff, even yourself. So think about your well-being and your mental health, you
yeah.
know.
It's absolutely critical, isn't it? Because actually, how can you be the best version of
Mm-hmm.
yourself? How can
Mm-hmm.
you be the best um, leader, the best employer, the best
Mm-hmm.
employee, the best business owner, the best
Mm-hmm.
wife, husband, brother, sister, daughter, son? How can you be the best if actually
Friend.
you're running on empty and you aren't
Yeah,
thinking about all of those self-care things, your well-being? You will just run out of steam completely, and then
of course.
how do you
Then the
fulfill
season of
all of those
Christmas.
roles?
Yeah. Then couple with the season of Christmas and gift and everything. And honestly, it doesn't have to be expensive gift, even giving yourself. I think I shared, was it you? I shared something with you about my friend Iris. Since our kids were growing up, they actually aware that they don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day itself. Their
Yeah.
Christmas celebration, their like lunch, dinner, wherever is on the 26th. The reason being because they're always aware that mom actually volunteers, Great Ormond Street Hospital. So that's art giving back to society. So they know all about that. Then, in terms of thinking about other people, then thinking about yourself, be the best of you. So it doesn't have to be physical Christmas present. You know, it might be as small as sitting down with somebody who is lonely. Like you said earlier, we had the WhatsApp as our guest last week, talking about people who are lonely in terms of the project they do. In
Mm,
as much that they feed people that cannot afford and people who are actually homeless. There are some people they've got everything, but because they live by themselves, they're lonely. It could be that, you
mm,
know. And then thinking about budgets, thinking about this, thinking about that, Christmas period, and thinking about the longer nights and shorter days that we have. I
yeah,
think in my blog on the 14th of November, I talked about SAD, seasonal
yeah.
affective
Oh my
disorder.
goodness. Yeah,
It's a mental condition that is linked to this winter
mm,
season, you
yeah.
know.
It's a very
So
real thing, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
And it's important for
So
people to be aware of that.
yeah, yeah. And you see people because of that. People are already getting agitated. I don't know. I went out. Okay, I think it was WhatsApp. We just I went to volunteer
Mm,
last week Saturday. We
mm,
had them on Fridays, and so I was there on
yeah,
Saturday, and people were just talking like, oh, I'm feeling. Somebody was saying, oh, it's difficult now to go to shop. That it's not even Advent, Christmas things, Christmas gifts are already out. Somebody
mm,
said even before Halloween, Christmas they were already out. People are already feeling agitated
yeah, yeah,
seeing all of that. It's not even middle of November,
yeah,
and we've seen all of that.
yeah,
Then couple, and these are the things that actually people can get into that SAD, SAD, seasonal affective
yeah,
disorder. People don't want to go out, they just want to stay indoors.
yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
want to go to shops.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
can absolutely see that because you can't escape it, can you? You go out the front door and then you're immediately all the people that in this area that have got their Christmas tree up already and the sparkly
I've
lights in the
got, I've got
window.
to, I've got to in my area, in my road.
And it's there. It's kind of in your face, isn't it? The minute you walk out the doors, to some extent, and then as you've mentioned there, going into the shops and this, it, I can see how utterly overwhelming it can be.
Hmm. Yeah,
Particularly if you're lonely, financially struggling. Um, you've got a million and one things going on, and actually, the last
yeah.
thing you need to be reminded of is that we're expected to be happy because it's happy season, and it's not. It's not in a perfect world. That's how it would be, but we don't live in a
Yeah,
perfect world, so
we don't. And I think just to kind of come back to that search that I was talking about,
mm,
for coming back from employees and employers relationship, just to kind of conscious, be aware because your staff might be going through that
yes,
situation, or even yourself. How do you then manage that? That it doesn't affect your relationship with your staff.
yeah,
I'm not a medical person, but I read that even as small as vitamin D, take vitamin D because wintertime we all go through this. We all have vitamin D deficiency anyway,
mm,
so which is easily linked to this side as well, and it
mm.
links to drop in productivity as well.
Well, yeah, because it affects your immunity, doesn't
It,
it?
it, it
Potentially
does, it
feeling like
affects
a
your
puffy
immunity, yes,
thing. Mm,
yes. So whether yourself as a business owner, your staff, think about flexible time as well thinking because people will go through having problems sleeping because we have shorter days, we
mm,
have longer nights. People might be sleeping excessively because they are cold, they don't want to go out. Think about flexible time, not just for your employees, even for yourself, to be able to give the best to your staff. Consider offering flexible hours over winter time if it's possible, and especially for those who suffer from the SAD. You know,
mm,
again, SAD is seasonal affective disorder. Either coming in, allow them to come in, and again, even for yourself, allow them to come in and finish early or later on. to ensure that you and yourself get a bit of non-working time in the daylight at the beginning or the end. Because, like I said, by three, what's the time now? This is when we
It's
started
nearly
this
four
podcast.
o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah, we started 3 o'clock. It's already dark and the light is
yeah,
on.
pretty much.
So people get demotivated. Yes. So, and yeah, and enforcing lunch breaks because some people might say, I don't want to take lunch break, because they don't want to go out. It's cold and all of that.
Yeah,
Enforce it. It's very important. Let them take that winter walk. They go out, take a break. So please,
yeah, and so what really, really came out of what you said there for me was, as a leader or as a business owner or whatever, recognizing in yourself the potential effect of the shorter days and the fact that you might feel a bit, a bit meh, whatever, but you might not necessarily have connected that with actually it's the time of
yeah,
the year, and actually giving yourself the space to really think back over the last couple of weeks
yeah,
and measuring what your mood's been like and how you've been feeling and how you might
yeah,
have been interacting with other people, you might actually be able to see that there is a connection between the clocks going back
of course.
and the way that you've been performing. And
Yeah,
if you can
yeah.
recognize that in yourself and do something about it, then you're then role modeling that for other people.
A lot of people, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So all of this is about self-care. It's about self-care.
It
And
absolutely
I
is.
think I think as employers as well, or as a business owner, if you have EAP, employee assistance program, now might be a good time to revisit that. Look at what you have, because that could be another solution for yourself or for your team. And if you don't have, you might want to think about, getting one because these are a low-cost components of
Yeah,
employee business benefits package. So just try and look at that because yeah, this is the time to start.
yeah,
Self-care, start looking after yourself, so that you'll be able to plan for the coming year effectively.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
start as you mean to go on. Finish the year with well-being and self-care right at the top of the agenda, and carry that on through until 2025, and make it
Hmm.
a big part of your goals for next year. I think it's
Yeah.
an important one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that is just for me. I'm just gonna wrap up before Michelle finish up. All I'm just gonna say is look after yourself, manage your expectation,
Mm,
and if possible, stay away from social media because if it's making you feel pressurized to have unrealistic festive period, stay away
yeah,
because the main thing about Christmas break is that you enjoy yourself, and then set boundaries. Learn to say no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and communicate those boundaries. So if you're going to
yeah.
be off social media, just let everybody know in advance so that they're not expecting you to reply to your WhatsApp messages and watch
Yeah,
this
but Michelle,
space
do you
for
have do I have
my
to justify
newsletter.
myself to anybody? Is that
Um,
not justification? Do I have to justify to let people know?
no, no justification. No, but actually, if you're going to say, do you know what? I'm taking Christmas as a social media detox. Don't expect me to
Mm.
respond. I'm not going to tell you why I'm going to take that detox, although I would like to think that most people would understand why nowadays, because let's be honest, instead of a Christmas bank holiday, or as well as a Christmas bank holiday, maybe we should be
Mhm.
saying Christmas detox, tech detox as well. Roll the two into
Oh,
one.
into one, yeah. And I suppose looking at what you just said, I know I said told you I have to justify myself from, being off social media. I'm looking at in terms of obviously Christmas break, we're gonna take break, we're gonna set out of office,
Yeah,
isn't it? So you
of
might as
course.
well just set you out of social media office. So yeah, well,
A big
but is that not
example.
extra pressure to be able to? I need to let my social media people network know that I'm gonna be off. I
Be
don't
the
know.
example.
Really, well.
We all said we're off social media for 3 days, let's say, then I think we'd all feel off the hook because we'd all
Yeah,
be doing it and we could probably all go for a
yeah,
proper break.
yeah, I know. Well, I think for me, all I'm just gonna say is it is Christmas. Please, viewers, friends, families, keep calm. Surround yourself with positive people. Whatever is making you feel negative or will stress you up, please stay away from it. And especially, importantly, take a winter walk. It helps.
Yeah, I think you wrapped up perfectly there. I think that there's nothing else that I could add. You know, take a break, enjoy it,
Yeah,
reflect,
reflect. Yeah.
and then come back for 2025 fully energized and ready to go.
Thank you everyone for listening. Please watch, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe to all so that when we drop a new video, you'll be able to see and you'll be notified. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yes, I'm just making it up as I was going, but things were just coming to my head. I don't know if you flew well anyway, so.
I think that's the